This is what it means to follow the crucified and the risen Christ. This is what it means to live the life of faith. Thursday night at our Bible discussion group, somebody pointed out something, and it goes right with this message. When we go downstairs to fellowship, we oftentimes sit with the same people. Same people. I remember when it was back in grade school, we always sat with the same people. We always had our spot. That's where I sat. And so too, here, we have our pews. Matter of fact, I identified Jerry yesterday when I was talking about Jerry in my message. I was talking about who is Jerry, and I said Jerry is a true blue Lutheran because he used to sit right back there in the back row as far away from me as he could possibly get. Did anybody see the first Top Gun movie? Anybody ever see Tom Cruise, first Top Gun movie? No? Yeah, okay. All right. Did anybody go see the second Top Gun movie? All right, so one of the things I was looking forward to was the song Highway to the Danger Zone. You know, Highway to the... Kenny Loggins sang that, I think. I really was looking forward to hearing that song, and it didn't disappoint. But I don't want to talk about the danger zone today. I want to talk about the comfort zone. That's a term that's kind of popular. We like to be in our comfort zone. As I understand it, a person's comfort zone refers to the situations in which the person feels comfortable, person feels safe, free from even any threats or even any challenges. They're comfortable. The comfort zone is for the person involved. The comfort zone is for the person involved a thoroughly comfortable place. Life there is marked with ease and familiarity. We all know what that's about. But sometimes we have to get outside our comfort zone. It's natural to like one's comfort zone. But most of us would admit that we should not remain in the comfort zone indefinitely. People do not become better or more mature or holier by lingering in their comfort zone. That, my friends, just doesn't happen. My comfort zone at home is in my chair with my feet up watching TV. But we can't stay there the whole time. If we stayed in our comfort zone, nothing would ever get done. We would never grow. So, I bring up this matter of comfort zone because it appears to me that this modern term that we use today fits right into the gospel text with Jesus. The passage divides easily into two parts. The first part, Jesus cautions against sitting in the place of honor at a wedding banquet and advises taking the lowest place instead. The second part, he urges us to invite the crippled, the lame, the blind when we give a luncheon or dinner rather than friends, relatives, and rich people. So there's advice here for us when we're the guests as well as when we are the hosts. But Jesus is not simply offering suggestions about etiquette. Something more is going on. What he advocates is not social occasions only, but it is meant to shape the entirety of our lives. Choosing the seat of honor for ourselves sounds to me like craving our comfort zone. The best seat is where we want to be because we think it will be for us comfortable. It'll be for us safe. It'll be free from threats or free from challenges. Jesus cautions us against moving into a comfort zone all on our own, as though we know what we're doing, as though it's something that we need to do. He also advises against staying in that comfort zone once we find ourselves there. Rather than limiting our guests list to people who are clones of ourselves, people whom we're comfortable with, who don't threaten or even challenge us. Invite instead those who are different, people who make us comfortable, people who make us uncomfortable, but whose differences from us may bring with it blessings. There was a large homeless population by my church down in Fort Lauderdale. And there was a large homosexual population down at my church in Fort Lauderdale. We had 9 people who were homosexual in our congregation. And people said, "Why don't you kick them out? Why did you let that homeless person in here? Why did you do that? They don't smell right. They don't look right. They should be wearing their best to church." You know what I said? They're here more often than you are. People make us uncomfortable sometimes, and we don't like it. It's kind of like a thorn in our side, and kind of like an itch we can't scratch. People just don't like it. You see, those are the people who need to hear the gospel. Jesus not only tells us that life is bigger than that, he shows us, he demonstrates it. His entire life, his public ministry, the passion and the resurrection is full of episodes, one after another, of not remaining in the comfort zone. Not trying to enter into a comfort zone. Repeatedly, he takes the low seat and invites unlikely types to be his guests. Jesus takes the worst seat of all for you and for me. He takes the seat upon the cross. And those who come to his banquet make it through the door because they claim no merit of their own. Last week I didn't preach upon the narrow door. I preached rather on, remember, Gilligan and quicksand. But the door is narrow. We don't get there by buying pre-sold tickets. Can't call StubHub and look for someone who's selling one of their tickets into heaven. Can't reserve on Ticketmaster. There probably won't be anybody who's out scalping tickets to get into heaven. The door is narrow. We can't buy it, guys. We can't buy it. We can't purchase it. We can't even earn it. But Jesus starts by telling us, don't just associate with your own kind. As I was writing this message, I got to thinking, King Arthur. What was King Arthur famous for? What did he create? The Knights of the Round Table. Because at the round table, could anybody sit at the head? Was anyone more important than the other? No. I love round tables. Absolutely love them. Jesus claims the seat upon the cross, with his arms stretched wide, with nails in his hands, with nails in his feet. Why does he do that? Has anybody ever heard the song by Casting Crowns called Scars in Heaven? If you haven't, please listen to it. We all go to heaven. We have all these scars on earth. We have our limitations. We have our diseases. We have all of the things that we have that are scars. That song talks about the fact that the only scars in heaven are the scars of Jesus. There'll be no more scars in heaven. So it does not matter if you're sitting at the head of the table or you're sitting at the foot of the table, because when our time comes through faith, we will not have scars in heaven. I'm guessing that maybe a 32 waist would be nice. I don't know. Finally, Jesus leaves the comfort zone of earthly life. He leaves the comfort zone of a narrow grave, to experience an ever-expanding resurrection life. And he sees the struggling universe from the place from whence he came, right beside his Father. Jesus leaves the comfort zone behind forever because he is now present everywhere in judgment and everywhere in mercy. Religion comes in two kinds. One kind encourages us to stay inside in our comfort zone, a well-defined, nice, safe place where everything is predictable, nothing threatening, no one thinks. Comfort zone is a passionate place. It draws people in, satisfies them on some level, but it never leads them to change and never leads to sending them forth. You see, religion of this sort resembles taking a seat of honor at the feast. At last you are where you deserve to be. You are in with the crowd. You're one of them. Religion of this sort pulls us up the drawbridge. Pulls up the drawbridge. Those who are different, those who are simply themselves, need not apply. If anybody ever says we have a church like that, I would tell them they're sorely mistaken. Visitors talk about how people greet them. Visitors talk about how well and how they feel comforted here. The other kind of religion may find itself in the comfort zone, but always decides, like Jesus, to step outside. That's the kind of church we need to be. The safe place, the preferred seating, the predictable crowd is not enough. The reason it is not enough is a theological one. Because the true God, the wild God, the God who is alive, will not linger inside. God keeps appearing in low places among unlikely, and there enjoys, and while he's there, he enjoys the time of his life. The question is, will the faithful meet God there? The way we move out in and out of our comfort zone has very different names. We talk about deeper spirituality. We talk about costly service. We talk about thinking about our faith, helping others on their journey. We talk about saying no to the ways of the world and saying yes to the ways of God. All these are ways that we end up quite outside our comfort zone, though there is an inevitable danger that the new place will become a comfort zone as well. I was reading something lately, and I don't remember where it was or where it came from, talking about a Christian should help another brother, another Christian, not fall into the temptation or the sin they're dealing with. It doesn't end there. It says, and be careful not to fall into that temptation yourself. Getting outside our comfort zone is good for us. Getting outside our comfort zone is kind of like, rather than me sitting in my chair, me going for a walk. Getting outside of my comfort zone is rather me getting out of my chair and going and working out. How many of you have a membership to a gym but never use it? I do. Why? You see, Jesus calls us through our gospel and 100 other ways. Jesus is calling us that we do him the honor of keeping ourselves, keeping our religion, our image from him, of him from becoming domesticated, from becoming trapped, to becoming some sort of comfort zone or other type of thing. His enemies never fully trapped him that way. Certainly his friends should not trap him that way. We can't keep Jesus in a box. Refusing to linger long in any comfort zone, no matter how well appointed, but looking for a new seat and making room for an unseemly guest moving always past the safety to encounter unexpected challenges. This is what it means to follow the crucified and the risen Christ. This is what it means to live the life of faith. I challenge you guys. Don't live within the comfort zones of this sanctuary. I don't think I've ever seen one. Do we have one here that at the door that says, "You're now entering the mission field"? Do we have one of those? It's out there. See how well I pay attention? But that's what we do when we leave here. We should be leaving the mission field. This is our workout. We come to the gym. It doesn't have to be comfortable, guys. It can't be the same old, same old. It can't be, we always did it this way. No. That's not how you grow. That's how you better ourselves, and that's not how Jesus wants us to be. Rather than highway to the comfort zone, we're best to take highway to the danger zone, where Satan is, so that we can put on our armor, battle the people kept captive, and bring them home into the comfort of Christ. Amen.